Hello, my name is Sunrisa Vogel, and I want to welcome you to my reflective presentation for EME 6946, Field Experience in Instructional and Performance Technology. I am in the Master's Program for Instructional Design and Technology, with a concentration in distance learning. I have always had a love for teaching as well as for technology, so this degree seemed to be the perfect fit. I have had a great experience here at UWF, and I feel well prepared for a variety of careers. This capstone project is one of the final courses I need for my degree, and I would like to tell you a little bit about it. My client for this project was Dr. Nancy Hastings, an assistant dean, chair, and associate professor here at UWF. The project was to analyze one of Dr. Hastings' courses for ADA compliance issues, develop a correction plan, and then correct the issues. I chose to work on EME 7676 as it was a course that I had taken and particularly enjoyed. The primary stakeholders for this project are the students with disabilities. They will be the ones to benefit the most from this project. The secondary stakeholder is Dr. Hastings, who now knows that all of her students will be able to fully access this course. And, as part of the deliverables, she was given some tools that can help her ensure ADA compliance in other courses. The key stakeholders are the other students taking this course, as they may also benefit from the corrections, and the staff in the UWF Student Disability Resource Center, as well as the family and friends of the students with disabilities, as they will hopefully no longer need to provide assistance for this course. The first step for this project was to come up with a timeline. I did this by creating a Gantt chart, which was a huge help as it gave a good visual to help me stay on task. My project was divided into 3 phases: research, analysis and development, and implementation. Phase 1 involved researching the ADA requirements for online college courses. For my research, I used UWF's Academic Technology Center, which has a section on accessibility, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services website, and the ADA website. I used all of these resources to help create a master accessibility checklist. Phase 2 involved using the accessibility checklist I had created to analyze the course for compliance issues and then develop solutions to these issues. As I started using the checklist, I realized that I had a problem. There were too many parts to the course for just one checklist. To fix this, I decided to use a separate checklist for each module. This worked well for the analysis, but created another problem. When I put it all together, the final report was 30 pages long, and it was very complicated. I decided to create a common problem section, which condensed the problems shared by each module. I also made the report a SMART document, which made it easier to navigate. Even with these additions, my client still felt that it was too complicated and suggested that I create a summary checklist. This was an excellent idea, and it made it much easier to get a quick view of all of the compliance issues. Phase 3 involved implementing the solutions and correcting the compliance issues. This is where the detailed checklist came in handy, because I was now able to use it to go into the course, correct the issues, and then check them off the list. The detailed checklist helped ensure that nothing got missed. The deliverables for this project were the ADA compliance checklist, the analysis report, the corrected course content, and a private YouTube channel. This is the ADA compliance checklist I created and used to analyze each module. Each part of the module was checked against it for compliance, and each item on the list got a yes, no, or not applicable. The results were then compiled into an analysis report, which also included a condensed common problems section and an easier-to-read summary checklist. The corrected content of this course can be divided into 5 categories: the main lessons in D2L, Microsoft Word documents, PowerPoint documents, PDF documents, and video presentations. A common problem with the main lessons in D2L was that many of the headings were not correct. This was simple to check for as D2L has an accessibility checker. Another common problem was that many of the files inserted into the modules did not have descriptive titles. This was corrected by making them more descriptive. The most common problems with the Word documents were that the tables were missing alt text and the file names were not clear and descriptive. I discovered that all of Microsoft Office programs have accessibility checkers, which allowed me to ensure that all of the errors were found and corrected. I also included instructor-created PDF files in this category as they were originally created in Word. The common problems with the PowerPoint presentations were similar to the Word documents. Graphics were missing alt text and file names were not clear and descriptive. An additional problem was that many of the presentation title pages were also not descriptive. Most of the title pages had Advanced Instructional Design Theory, which is the name of the course but did not describe that specific presentation. This was easily fixed by adding an additional descriptive heading to the title pages. The PDF articles from outside sources presented the biggest problem. I used a PDF accessibility program called Pack2 to check these and found that they all had errors. I wanted to see how these errors actually affected the readability of the article, so I used Adobe Acrobat Reader to test them and found that most of the articles could still be read quite well. I added a note and a download link to the introduction section of the course and to the syllabus, letting students know that the PDF articles in this course can be read with Adobe Acrobat Reader. There were a few articles that were completely unreadable, and I suggested that these be removed from the course or listed as optional. The only exceptions were the 2 case studies used for the final exam. They were both short, so my solution was simply to retype them. The most obvious changes to the course content involved the instructor's video presentations, which must have closed captioning or transcripts and did not. Dr. Hastings and I originally discussed creating transcripts. However, during my research, I found that YouTube will automatically add closed captions. I was a bit dubious of how well this would work, so I tested it and was pleasantly surprised. The audio must be clear, but I didn't see this as a problem. In all of my classes at UWF, I have not watched a single instructor presentation with bad audio. Dr. Hastings agreed that, as long as it works well, this would be the best method as it would allow students to read and view the presentations simultaneously. So, I created a private YouTube channel for Dr. Hastings and uploaded all of the course videos to it. I put them in a single playlist titled EME 7676. If Dr. Hastings likes this method, she can choose to create additional playlists for her other classes. I then embedded the videos along with descriptive titles into their proper places in the course. The biggest challenge I ran into with this project was time. There were a few delays to my timeline, but I dealt with them as they came up. It took longer than I had planned to get the compliance checklist approved, but I tried to use this time wisely and spent it doing a pre-review of the course, which later made the actual review and analysis go faster. I also used this time to research programs that I might need, review the information from UWF's Academic Technology Center, and review the reflection presentations from previous semesters. Some other challenges I had were ones I mentioned previously, about the course being too big for one checklist, and then my final report being too complicated. I am happy to say that scope creep was not a problem. This project took a lot of time and detailed work, but it was pretty straightforward, and there wasn't much room for deviation. Now, if an instructor chose to do this project for one of his or her courses, making other non-ADA edits might be a temptation. I learned many important things during this project that I believe will benefit me in the future. The most helpful thing was simply experiencing managing a project. I had done mock projects in other classes, but actually being in charge of a real project was a completely different learning experience. I also learned to be more detailed in my timeline. My original timeline was not detailed enough, and I needed to redo it a couple of times. I forgot to add in time for client review, which of course is very important. I learned a great lesson about managing my time by being productive during those waiting periods. And finally, I learned a lot about ADA compliance, which I believe will be helpful in any job I have. All of my courses here at UWF have been excellent, but there were a few that I felt especially aligned with and contributed to my project. EME 6415, Designing Instructional Courseware, has been helpful in ensuring that my audio-video presentations were of good quality. EME 6409, Distance Learning Implementation, taught me how to use D2L, which made navigating and editing the course much easier. EME 6607, Instructional Technology Planning and Change, taught me about the various aspects of project management, such as scope, stakeholders, timelines, and deliverables. EME 6408, Integrated Technology Learning Environments, also contributed to my project management skills, with lessons on analysis and data collection. I hope you have enjoyed my capstone reflection presentation. I have had a great experience here at UWF, and I just want to take a minute to thank all of my professors. It was obvious in every one of my classes that you are all passionate about what you do. My goal is to carry on that same passion to my own students.